Did you ever think of making an Enderman farm in the nether? Yeah, it doesn't really make sense when it's much easier to make one in the end. Especially since normally, Enderman spawning is really slow in the nether. But there is a way to make them spawn a lot faster using some kind of bug. Well, at least I'm pretty sure it's a bug. I haven't seen anyone talk about it before. And that's why I wanted to make this video. Even if you don't plan to build an Enderman farm, I'm sure you can find this mechanic interesting. And who knows, it might be more useful in a different scenario. After discovering this mechanic, I designed a single dimension farm using TNT looting and a dual dimension one that they built on the AutoCraft SMP. I'll talk more about these designs at the end of the video. To showcase the spawning mechanics of the Enderman in the warp forest biome, I'm gonna make a platform at Y128, so at the level of the roof. And if we check the Enderman spawning here, we can see we have 10. Around 10 of them. If I kill them, we can see we'll have 10, 11, but it's not a lot. I'm gonna move this platform at Y0 to see the difference. Usually if you have a platform at Y0, it will get filled with mob really quickly. But in this case, we will have roughly the same amount of Endermen. They are spawning a bit faster, but you're still limited to around 10. And it's because in this biome the spawning mechanics are a bit different. When the game tries to spawn an Enderman, it will check all the other Endermen around it, and if there are too many that are too close, the spawn attempt will fail. You can find more details about how it works in the wiki if you're interested. And now the interesting thing is if we start going down a bit. And you will see we'll have some Endermen spawning here and there. And why is it that we have so many Endermen here and there, but we don't have any in the middle? Well, you can kinda see here, we have a pigling, meaning it's in the different biome. But if I tick freeze the game, so nothing can spawn anymore, and if I turn on the biome border, you can see that the Endermen are spawning inside of the warp forest biome. And it's the same thing on this side. And if I despawn the mobs and spawn them again, you will see we always have a lot of Endermen on both sides. In this case we also have all the mobs because the other biomes are in range, but we can also deal with that. If I spawn the mobs again and I freeze the game, we'll see where the Endermans are spawning, and it's just along the chunk border. So I will try to explain what's happening here. I don't know if I'm entirely correct, but that's the explanation that makes the most sense to me. On this side we have the warp forest, and on this side we have the netherwaste biome. And we have the biome border in a straight line, which is not crossing any chunks on the sides. And the Endermen are spawning a lot in the first chunk of full warp forest biome, so not this one, but this one. And they seems to be spawning more commonly near the chunk border. And so what I think is happening is that in this chunk, which has the two biomes, the spawning follow the same rules as in the entire warp forest biome, but the pack spawning follow the rules of the netherwaste biome. So even if the spawning is really slow on this chunk, the pack spawning is really fast and can propagate on this chunk, and that's why we have a lot of Endermen spawning here, especially near this chunk border. And to be able to see that a bit better, I'm gonna replace the solid blocks here with glass, so no mobs will be able to spawn here, but we will still have the pack spawning. Now we only have the solid blocks up until this chunk, and if I unload these mobs and spawn them again, we'll see the spawn really fast. And if I remove the stained glass, we can see the spawning is normal. But if I place it again, they start spawning really fast. And I'm assuming it's the same thing on this side, but it's a bit more complicated to see because it's not in a straight line. And so that's how we can make Enderman spawn really quickly. And I don't think it's intended, it's probably a bug, but at least we can use it to make unique farms. The first idea I had was to build a farm along the chunk border. So it's aligned right against this chunk border, and so the mobs are spawning here. And it doesn't need to be really big because most of the spawns are happening really close to the chunk border. But it has to be long if you want to fill the mob cap. This farm is using TNT looting because this way you can instant kill the Endermans, otherwise they will teleport everywhere. So to use it, you can have a bot and have it place TNT continuously. Then you need to place the arrow. So you can take the bow, the arrow, and also the looting sword. Place the arrow here. And then press the node block to align it. And it should be right here between the netherrack and the glass. And then you can turn on the farm. And it will send TNT. The TNT is perfectly aligned and sent here into the lava source to kill the mobs. When it arrives here, it will trigger the observer, which will turn on a clock and send a signal to the farm. The farm has two types of conveyors. First, this piston, which will extend twice to push the endermans here. And then we have this conveyor, which is 20 blocks per second, to push all the endermans in the center spot. And keep in mind that it's just a fun concept. The farm is not really practical or reliable. Well, it works reliably, it won't break, but you can see a lot of endermen will teleport everywhere. The double piston extender are timed to push just before the conveyor starts, and they're all cascade into the middle, and it's the same on both sides. When the endermans arrive here, the TNT will instant kill them, and all the drops will end up here, and they will get pushed by the slime block. The items get sent under the headless piston, and the XP just stays here. You can add something to burn it, but I just couldn't bother. Then the items are sent up, and here into this 8 times hover speed loader. And the farm is decently fast, and this is without looting because I'm a spectator. If I check wood looting now, you can see it's even faster, and it's around 74,000 items per hour. And I forgot to add it, but there is also string here for the pack spawning. And when you turn off the farm, it's usually a big mess because all the endermen end up teleporting. The other option is to make a dual dimension farm. This way you just need a small platform for the enderman to spawn and nether portals. You just can't make the nether portal more than 32 blocks long if you want to have just one killing chamber in the overworld, and you need to have them far enough away so the light level don't prevent the enderman from spawning. Behind the nether portals you can have endermites to attract the endermen. On the overworld side you have different options. On AutoCraft they opted for TNT looting. They have a bot placing the TNT, and they use the arrow of a skeleton to ignite the TNT so the endermen don't drop any XP. The mobs are dropped enough blocks so they can be instant killed by the TNT, and then the drops are pushed down, where they can be collected by shulker box loaders. This dual dimension farm can produce 190,000 ender pearls per hour. So that's gonna be it for this video, and I hope you found the concept interesting. Maybe it can be used to farm other mobs, so I will look into that and maybe make another video in the future if I can find anything interesting. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.